Hello everybody. I represent the bad guys. I represent the oil and the natural gas industry in Israel. I'm from the Association of the Oil and Gas, of the Natural Gas Trade Association, and I also the chair of the Strategy Committee of International Gas Union. So what brings me here to a conference of blue economy is that the natural gas in Israel is fully blue economy. In 1999, we didn't have any infrastructure and we didn't have any production of natural gas or any fuel in Israel, almost nothing. And today, we are exporter of natural gas. Today, we have in our electricity power generation, we use 80% of local power, 70% from natural gas and 10% from renewables. I will get that later, but renewables and natural gas are not competitive to each other. They're in different lines of development. So from 2004 till 2022, we get to about 23 BCM of production per year. And we are today in the neighborhood, we are one of the major suppliers of natural gas. And we just launched a week ago a big report to celebrate the 10 years of natural gas revolution in Israel. And we had some very unique figures to show. So first of all, from 2012, then start actually the natural gas revolution. Before that, we didn't use a lot of natural gas, not so much, but from 2012 to 2022, the share of natural gas is almost 70%. And what that's bring to the country is, first of all, 84% reduction of SOx emission, 74% reduction of NOx emission in the power generation area, and 27% reduction of CO2 emissions. And in that time, in that years, from 2012 to 2022, the power generation in Israel growth by 17%. So we making much more power and with much less a lot less emissions of CO2 and all the other pollutions like SOx and NOx. The value in external cost of that was 190 billion shekels in 10 years. All the economic benefits in 10 years from natural gas was 320 billion shekels in Israel. About half was from external costs, and all the others came from energy costs. As you know, we had last year, and almost to, basically it was majority last year, but the energy crisis in the world and all the prices that went up of gas and coal and power generation. In Israel, we have a bit we have just a little bit growth of prices of power generation, and all of that it's because we use 20% coal, and we didn't stop the use of coal till today. We will do it till 2026. So another interesting figure that we found is that in 10 years' time, Israel is number 2 in the OECD countries in reduction of CO2 per capita. So all of this is because of the gas, because we still don't use a lot of power generation, solar power generation. So I will talk a little bit now globally, because I like to use the term energy evolution and not energy transition, because evolution is something that's driven by by the nature, by the rational development in the whole world. So in 2022, we had a world record of renewables generation, but it's positive, of course. But we had also two bad records, one of GHG emissions record, and the other one is global coal of use was the highest in all time. And why is that? I will try, to give you like a different perspective, I think, that of what you heard before about what's happened in the world in the last 40, 50 years of energy consumption. So in 1965, most of the emissions, like 2/3 of the emission was in OECD countries and just 1/3 in non-OECD countries. Today, it's totally opposite. Most of the emissions in the world are in non-OECD countries. The picture changed dramatically. And the trend is proceed to the future. And it's natural, we can understand it. 87% of the world population are living in non-OECD countries. Just 13 in OECD countries. Okay? So the trend is proceed. In the OECD countries, the rich countries, we can use more renewables, we can have more innovation and test technologies. But we need to understand that on each ton of CO2 emission that we reduce in the OECD countries, there is 4.3 tons that add to the emission in the non-OECD countries. And we can say, okay, sometime maybe they don't want to use renewables in the non-OECD countries, but they won't. It's not they don't want. For instance, in China, the solar power generation is the same like the amount power generation in the EU and the US. Wind, the same. Hydro generation in China is like in all OECD countries. So this is the most important, I think, slide that I have here. If we won't understand this picture, we don't succeed with energy evolution. In the last 50 years, the gap between OECD power generation per capita and non-OECD is not closing. And if we won't understand how to close it, and I believe that we can close it with renewables, but with natural gas, not only with renewables, we won't succeed to tackle climate change. And if we will take natural gas and replace it with coal, we will reduce a lot of emission immediately. And just one word about innovation. The natural gas industry in the world and in Israel want your innovation. There is a huge conference, International Gas Research Conference in Canada next year of the International Gas Union. So if someone wants to have details about it and to bring your innovation to the world platform, I will be happy to assist. Thank you.